Hello. Hello and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. I've been having some internet problems. I'm trying to pinpoint the issue. I'm going to try some more things later. I had to stop the broadcast going through YouTube Live. It kept failing. This might fail. And then I'll just have to do a recorded video. But I have two Kentucky straight bourbon whiskeys, 40% alcohol, 80 proof, aged 3 years, sour mash. That's G&W. Gooderham and Worts. I poured some. Introduced in 1933. Currently owned by Laird and Company. Bottled in New Jersey by Laird and Company, but produced in Kentucky by some unknown producer. Might be Heaven Hill, who produces Evan Williams for all we know. Evan Williams, this is the hard to find green label as it's nicknamed. Green, gold, and white label. Did find this locally. Well, in a different town, but within the 30-mile radius. It was $4.99, so I bought 2 bottles to make a whole. So $9.98 for this is a good deal. A lot of viewers tell me they can't get that in their state that they're aware of. Well, that's it for the first bottle. I know where to find this for $9 a liter. Last time I checked, it was $9 for a liter in Gretna, Louisiana. But I've had enough of it. I don't need to buy any more. But it's an interesting product because they don't. If you get on the Evan Williams website, it's not listed. It doesn't exist. But I put a link below for Heaven Hill, and you can see where they do list it. But all they do is give you the product specifications, just telling you the bottle sizes. So it's a listing, but it's not very helpful. Okay, so they're both copper. And I'm not going to show the websites because even the Laird website's not much to see. They show a 5-year age G&W private stock. That's 86 proof, which I've not seen. I bought this for $8 the liter. It was a special. It was a special price at Elio's Wine Warehouse. So I said $8 for a liter. Yeah, I'm on that. Didn't know a thing about it. Still dark outside. It's kind of foggy, chilly. Okay, so I'll be able to tell these apart. It's questionable. They're so similar, and like I said, it could be from the same supplier, the same distillery. We don't know. But we do know that G&W is obviously not coming from some little craft distillery. And when you think about how many big distilleries there are in Kentucky who could produce enough, it's not that many when you get down to it. Talking about major bourbon distilleries in Kentucky. Yeah, there's a lot of small little craft ones, but okay, it smells like corn, vanilla, oak, charred oak. It's very regular smelling. Let me see something here. Yeah, I don't like that. I like that light better. Okay, more the blue light. Okay. This one almost has like a fruit component, which is it's making me think Heaven Hill, because they have some strange. I find Heaven Hill bourbon sometimes has some, if you want to call them off aromas, they're a little different, but not bad or anything. But all right. Taste. Yeah, to me, sour mash bourbon has sort of like a sour bagel flavor. Sourdough bagel. Which of course it is not, but I don't know how else to express it. This one has more of like a little papery note. hard to describe. Now I know people will say that's oxidized with beer, if beer has a papery note, which I guess is true. But that is sort of what I'm tasting. Are they fine? Yeah, they're fine. No problem. They're not extraordinary. You're not going to be trying to run these down and say, oh yeah, they're having an event at the store and I'm going to get, they're not going to have these in an event. They're not going to be in a contest or a whiskey, awards thing. They're just out there on the shelf. Let's just say that. There's a lot of basic bourbon on the shelf. Nothing, like I said, nothing fabulous, but nothing bad. Just regular. What can you say? They got regular old beers and regular old bourbons and regular old wines, and you can be snooty about it. Well, of course you can be snooty about it. It's your money. Why not? Heck. Or you don't have to be that way. It's up to you. This, however you want to approach it. Some people want to drink it with ice. Some people want to do cocktails. Some people want to drink it neat at room temperature like I'm doing. Either way, or any way, not either because there's more than two choices. However you want to do it is up to you, and there's no right, this shirt isn't, there's no right or wrong way to do it. Okay, now, medium body, mostly dry finish, so that's typical. Big difference in flavor? I would say no. I will say no. Now, I would say it. I am actually literally saying it, not theoretically saying it. Hey, they're very similar, but I think this is the G&W. Might be a little bit nicer, a little bit nicer. I would score this like a 9.3, really, top quality if you look at it. A and A. This one maybe more like a 9 out of 10, A minus, like not quite into the excellent range, which is probably why it's their green label put down kind of at a low shelf thing, at a low shelf offering. No, well, I got tricked. This is my first loss, although I did have a tie. The better one is the Evan Williams. Well, what about that? Just goes to show you, you don't know until you do a blind taste test. I didn't have any real dedicated, definitive understanding of these two flavors anyway, because the G&W is very standardized. There's no standout things about it, but I did get it wrong, so that puts me at one loss and one tie. All the rest wins. However many that is, I think four wins, one loss, one tie. Well, when you're dealing with generic tasting products, in a sense, you said, well, how can it be excellent if it's generic tasting? Well, it's that there's sort of like a baseline of excellence with bourbon. You'll find that like even the worst bourbons are really nice. Like people used to ask me, and still do sometimes, what's the best major league stadium you've ever been to? And then they'll say, and what's the worst? Baseball. I say, because I've been to games at every major league baseball stadium, some that no longer exist, and one that's not going to exist because it's going to be torn down. Tropicana Field got so ruined by the hurricane, they say it's not worth fixing. So, and plus they were going to abandon it anyway in a few years. So that's finished. But I always tell them, I say, remember, the worst Major League Baseball stadium is still wonderful. Okay, you have to remember the baseline is like their worst is great. Like no minor league stadium would ever match it. So it's kind of like that with bourbon. The worst bourbon on the market is really great, if that makes sense. Now it's not that way with Scotch. I've had some blended Scotch that are definitely not good. I've had some single malts that are not really good, like that Trader Joe's 8-year aged. Yeah, that thing was pretty rough. It was cheap, and it tasted cheap. It does taste cheap because I got half the bottle left. So I can't say that's the case for Scotch. That single malt was a wreck. Some of the blendeds are really bad. Not really bad, but really under, low. They're not good. Okay, put it to you like that. If you score a C, you may as well score an F, right? I say this with beer, wine, and liquor. If your score is a C, it just as soon be an F because it's drinkable, but you don't want it. You know what I mean? Like, it may as well be a D, bad, or an F, undrinkable, because you're not going to buy it. It's no good. You don't want it. All right. American blended whiskey. Yeah, you can run into some real monsters on that scene. And Canadian blended, you can run into some kind of scary products too. I haven't run across a bad Irish blended yet. Maybe one day, hopefully not. But so these two, couldn't tell them apart. Sorry. Can't do anything about that. It is what it is, right? It happened. I got it wrong. So I have to live with it. I could deny reality, but anyway, now, do I think I'll mix up the Evan Williams 1783? No, I don't. I think 17, there's even some black outline on this. I said green, gold, and white, but there's black drop shadow on the back of the Evan Williams name. We call it drop shadow to make it stand out more. Yeah. It's a nice looking label. All right. So I have the Evan Williams 1783 coming up. Don't expect to get that one wrong. That one's got a lot more punchy character. It's higher proof, right? 90 proof now, and it's aged about 6 years. Not a definitive age statement, but the company says aged about 6 years. So we'll go with that. Since they make it, they would know what the age is. And that's a 2021 version. In 2021, they upped the ABV, made it a little nicer. So I can't see that being a failure there. All right. So yeah, I'm going to try to pinpoint these transmission problems, and we'll see what happens. It's been going on about a week now. So, all right. Well, y'all take care, and you see little hiccups in the thing. All right. Good morning to you, Joe. So I like that blue corn avatar. Okay. Good luck with the car. Oh, you're talking about, well, that's a minor problem. The tire pressure monitoring system, something failed on that. But I was talking to a guy yesterday at work. He said, yeah, mine did that. This little sensor on the tire, they tend to go out. He said that's pretty easy fix. So anyway, but I appreciate you saying that. But that Nissan engine is rolling along, only 26,000 miles on it. So got a lot of life left on that thing, right? Those Nissan and Toyota 4-cylinder engines seem like they run forever. My aunt, she had a 1985 Toyota truck, 4-cylinder, 5-speed manual. That thing, she kept it with over 300,000 miles. She ran it for over 300,000 miles before it finally was time to dump it. And she got so many years out of it. It was amazing. But Toyota and Nissan are amazing, especially Toyota. All right. Well, y'all take care. Bye-bye.